guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account and we're going to be looking at the current event that is going on. And unfortunately, it seems like it has been a major flop, even though you have the ability to get a much larger reward. So looking in here at the lucky wheel. So this, honestly, right here, we have 4 days left. So we only have 4 days left of drops, meaning that we can get a lot more of the cards to pull more of those gold sheaf tickets to get essentially more of the lucky medals. Now, when it comes to lucky medals, we have not, I don't think we've bought anything in here as of yet. We own 100 of these right now. So the lucky medal within the wheel, way, way, way lower than it needs to be. We have done 14 draws so far. And you can see within the wheel itself, we have not gotten any of these event prizes, which are the really big prizes. When you look at, the frame, when you look at the chat bubbles, when you look at the emojis, that is really the big prize that everyone is kind of looking for, even though there is a very, very low probability. But then we start looking at some of the secondary prizes. So remember, if you pull some of the Draconic Insignias, which is a pretty good pull, if you pull some of those Arcane Staffs, that means you're not getting the lucky medals. So again, if you go in here and you pull the second prize, one of these prize boxes or one of these Draconic Insignias or the Arcane Staffs, that means that you're missing out on getting those lucky medals, which means in the redemption for the rewards itself, not really going to make a big difference when it comes to going in and doing the exchange. Now for the exchange itself, and we did buy one pack. I'm wondering if we did, I don't think we did any pulls because right here we're at 80 pulls. Here we are at 50, and those are the two things that I would have primarily bought. So we have not done any pulls. Now, in addition to this, we also did buy the 99-cent pack to do another pull. And I believe from that pull, we only got 5 of these little medals that we have. And when you start looking at the rewards, so looking at something like the red chest, and this is one that a lot of players did point out, I can buy 20 red chests. That's it. So we literally only have 4 days left within this event. We can only buy at this point one single red chest out of this entire event. And even looking at our elemental cores, which is what I'm probably going to end up getting out of here, I can get 300 elemental cores in comparison to 20 red chests. It doesn't make sense. The math for this event and the reward for the rolls, again, doesn't really make sense, short of being able to pull one of these top prizes, which for a majority of it, even looking at chat bubbles, I'm never going to use this prize. Even looking at the emojis, again, I do not use chat within the game itself. If you ever need to contact me, it is over on Discord. But again, if we do get these, I'm not going to use them either. There's nowhere that I'm going to use them. The only one that I could use is the avatar frame itself. And of course, you can only have one avatar frame. So I know a lot of players are saying with all of the frames and everything that we do within AFK Arena, pretty cool to have one frame, but I don't know if it's really a top prize. I would like to see, even instead of having these, is having some of the really big prizes, some of the really big sticking points. Like let's say, for instance, when we start looking at the probability, let's say instead of a lucky wheel or a roar or a howl, that we got 50 Draconic Insignias, or we got 50 time emblems, or there was something that we could use in the game to help with progression instead of just being the cosmetic aspect overall, which again, a lot of the skins are, a lot of the avatar frames, a lot of that thing, it's just cosmetic for the account itself. So it's pretty good to get, but even thinking of going in here and doing the exchange and then the sheer price of these, me right now, probably, and again, I was looking at the elemental cores, but I might actually come in here and get 10 Draconic Insignias. But as we're looking at it today, even thinking of the next couple days, we can probably get 10 Draconic Insignias out of an entire 12-day event. And even looking at some of the things that a lot of players could use. Now, these are custom attack scrolls. I wish they would just give you a scroll that you could use wherever, because this isn't a level up scroll. On the attack scrolls, even though they're good, the cost of it is super, super high. And then we get into the heroes themselves. And a lot of players have been asking about the heroes itself, if this will scroll a little bit slower. When we start looking at the heroes, all 4 of the heroes, so our Celestials and our Hippos. So we do have Zafriel, then we have Chad in here, we have Lucretia, and we have Zekas. None of them are used. None of them are in meta. None of them are in the formations that you're looking for. I feel like making this a lot more prevalent. And even thinking of the heroes itself, guys, we have 100 of 225. There is not even going to be a chance to get these heroes short of doing purchases. You can't. You can't. You are so short within here. And again, I feel like the math needs to be kind of 5x or 10x within the lucky wheel to actually get a lot of heroes. Now, also 14 draws. This is all that we have done since the beginning, and we're today or on the reset tonight, we'll be able to get another 100 of our lucky medals because we will do our 15 draws. But even to get much higher to get any of these additional rewards, knowing that there's only a couple days left, I can hit 15. I'm not even going to remotely get to close to 30, even though we went in here and, like I said earlier, we did pick up that 99-cent event deal, which I believe gave us 80, or maybe it was 100. I think it might have been 100 out of here when we got this event deal. So it gave us one extra full roll, which for a majority of players wouldn't even have the ability to buy that. If you're free to play, unfortunately, you cannot get that. And then even looking at the sheer cost of these guys, it's a pretty big cost for a very, very minimal reward. Even looking at here where if we have a limit 10, so this is $24.99, chances are you're probably not going to get much out of these pulls. Now, remember, it is 80 for every single roll. So again, the probability or the chances of getting something, these again are relatively low when it comes into comparison to what we've seen with past events. So as much as I like the event, as much as I feel like they could really make the lucky wheel something very cool, unfortunately, at this point, the reward tables are way too low. And I know, again, I got a ton of comments over on YouTube about it, about the lucky wheel, about how low it is. And a lot of players had questions about the pursuit of treasure. Now, we talked about this earlier. This is something that has actually come over from the companion server. So just going in here and getting these diamonds, of course, are going to yield you some red chests. You're also going to get some Poke coins. And again, it looks like the rewards in here are kind of nerfed. Even here, just getting 6 red chests, because when we look at everything else, so you're getting a total of 30 baits, you're getting 6 red chests, 1,200 Poke coins, couldn't even get a full pull out of there, and then 5 Stargazer scrolls to go ahead and complete this for the crystals. Again, I feel like in this, the scaling of the rewards are far too low for the time and effort that players put in. Doesn't have a lot of the items we need, like the Draconic Insignias. Still do not have access to getting those arcane staffs on a regular basis, which of course would make it easier. I feel like in here we're getting, look, a rune letter, and then we're getting some more of these treasure crystals. But in here, honestly, even looking at an 8-hour AFK timer like we see right here, we need to get arcane staffs. This is a point where we really need to pick them up. And I feel like they could do both of them very, very easy when it comes to the Field of Stars, because we still do have these. If this was the ability to actually add a arcane staffs within here, it would be a game changer. It would be a game changer for the Ghoulish Gallery, giving us the ability to build that. And then also looking at some of your recasting elixir that could be put in here. Again, giving us the ability to actually build out Ghoulish Gallery collections and making it a lot more easier within AFK Arena. So, all right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.